all of that. I've got Marvin Gaye coming up. That's part of me too. And it's not only part of me. There's so many people in this city who have different styles that they're into. I know a Jewish lady, Marion Steinhauser, Winters, Marilyn Winters. Myron. Her name is Marilyn, and she loves Latin music. And if you've never seen Jewish Americans do Latin music, you've got to check out some of these dance halls. They saved our music. Italians and Jews saved our music in the 50s. Let me be very honest with you, because we weren't ready yet to come and support it financially. So that if you're in New York and if you're of color, you have this sensibility about music and about religions and about styles that is second to none. I think we're the natural diplomats. I've always said that about Puerto Ricans. I think we're the natural diplomats. We can go into any neighborhood and know somebody, whether it's black, whether it's Italian, whether it's Jewish American, whether it's Irish American, Czech, Albanian. Forget about it. You know, we got it. And I know some guys who actually speak the language. I met a sister yesterday, by the way, over at the mosque who speaks Swahili, Arabic, and English. I mean, check that out. God bless her. The number here is 516-620-3602. 516-620-3602. And if you hear me not screaming and ranting and raving and trying to sell you a DVD or a product, it's because pitching, is that what they call it?
Isn't that because we don't sell?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We pitch. It's because I'm not in that mood today. I wish I could talk to you. Today is the day I would love to talk to you, but we can't. Our phone system is not set up yet. But what we can do...
But the thing about it is, either way, we really need to...
We need the money.
Yeah. I mean, because they can't talk to you in a couple of weeks if the station is no longer here. So whether you want to talk to them or whether you want to do the music, whether you want to do the poetry, it won't matter in a couple of weeks if this station is no longer around.
No longer on the air.
And that's how serious it is. The WBAI Transmitter Fund. And that's what people actually, they've been calling up for it, Felipe.
They have?
And yeah, people are calling, but we need more people to get on the phone.
I can't hear through these earphones. I'm sorry.
Why are you yelling at me about it? It's something happened.
Damn. What's up with this thing, man?
One day,
you should know something. Do something.
Do I look like a technical person? Did I ever say that to you? No. So don't go there with me.
Yes. Okay. Since you won't scream at me.
So,
you know I'm vulnerable to this. I can't fight back.
Because guess what? I can also press this button that controls the mic, too. Do you want me to do that?
All right, Ife, I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be cool. We're pledging 516-620-36. You know she's from Brooklyn, right? 516-620-3602.
What is that?
3602. You know how y'all are. 516-620-3602. G2 Uyusi wrote a letter. G2 is my brother, and he wrote a letter. He said, I'm tired of hearing y'all pitch. I'm tired of hearing this constant. I get bored with it. I don't want to hear it anymore. He sent me a copy of the letter, and he's absolutely right. And it's time for us to start talking. I'd love to get these wires fixed so that we could talk with each other and do community radio, which is what we're supposed to be doing. G2, you were right on the money.
But the thing about it is, we won't be able to do that.
Here's the deal, y'all.
If there's no station.
Here's the deal. Some of you can afford 100. Some of you can afford 250. Some of you can afford 500. We need, if you do 500, we'll match it. You do $1,000, we'll match it. You do $2,000, we'll match that. Somebody out there has it. I know I have a friend named Jeroboam, who is one of the most brilliant men I've ever met. Our specialty is talking about world affairs. He's amazing. I met him at NBC. Jeroboam, if you're listening to me, send me a gram, brother. Send me a gram. Jeroboam Gilbert. He's wonderfully gifted. Erudite, is immersed in Judaic history, black man, as I am. So we can do this, Jeroboam, and you can come on the air and talk with me about it. Send us 1,000. Kali, you got it like that. I'll just ask you for 100 because you're always contributing, Kali. So 100 would be cool. If you got 250, send that.
500.
500.
5,000.
Kali got money. Let me tell you, Kali, he's not rich, but he's got his. We've got several people who are out there who have some money who could be sending some bread. family members of mine can be doing that. I'm not going to mention you, but you know what the time it is. Hope you're enjoying the show. I love talking like this and just relating. You know what I'm going to do?
But can we just get in the next, 5 minutes, a couple of calls? We need, I honestly, I don't think they understand how serious it is.
Okay.
That with the transmitter, if we don't have the transmitter, there's no signal, there's no station, there's no wake-up call, there's nothing. None of the shows that you absolutely like. If you love listening to Felipe every week, every Friday at 6 a.m. with Wake Up Call, guess what? You have to make that call. We need you to call and donate. 516-620-3602.
So you're already starting to pitch on. I'm getting a headache already.
But we have to do it. Either it's we can either pitch hard now or not have a station. Which one would you rather?
You remind me of my mother. My mother used to tell me, I used to hate getting on that welfare line. Get that cheese and that powdered milk. And I said, I'm not going on that. She said, I guess she ain't going to eat.
Basically, and that's what I'm saying.
I said, I don't feel it. All my boys are watching. She said, and they're all on welfare too.
Look, I know that I know that you're going through your little monthly situation right now.
Yes.
And so you're a little moody right now.
I'm moody. I don't feel like pitching. I don't feel like it.
Okay, Mr. 3-year-old. But right now, it is what it is.
Yes, it is.
And I would love for you to be able to come back in a couple of weeks, even so you can do your show, so you can tell your wonderful story, so we can hear your guests that come on air with you.
We got a few great people coming up soon.
And
Aaron Dixon from Oregon. He was one of the first Panthers
out
there. Listen, Seattle, Washington. Not Oregon. Seattle, Washington. Aaron Dixon's going to be on the air next week.
But guess what?
It's Bad Brother.
Guess what?
What?
If there's no station.
There's no station. We can't have anything. I can't play Tito Puente. I can't play Ray Barretto. I can't play Cachao, Aragon, Benny Morez, Celia Cruz. I can't play any of that.
You can't.
I can't play the oldies.
So you have to put your, like I said,
my moodiness aside?
Yeah, you got to put that to the side. And
I'm a New York Rican. I've been raised here. You know how I've been raised with y'all. But Puerto Rico does something to me. I've been trying to tell you, one day what I hope to do right through BAI is do a guided tour, like do a trip, BAI trip to Puerto Rico. Me leading it, because I know the spots, girl. I know the beaches. I know the places where you can eat some fish, make you smack your grandmother. That's how good the fish is. They got some fried bananas, some tostones, and some maduros. Ife, I know a place where they have a mofongo. You know what mofongo is, Ife?
Not at all.
It's mashed plantain. They mash it.
Right, okay.
They mash it up. It's green plantain.
Okay.
And then they throw pieces of either pork in it. Forgive me, my Muslim brothers and sisters, but y'all know I haven't converted yet. God is still working on me. But I love the pork. So they throw little pieces of skin or the pieces of meat. Then they have shrimp in it, or they can have baby. And they put it, you know what a pilon is? It's like a huge gourd. It's sort of a gouged out piece of wood, and you hit it with a mortar. Girl, they give you that with a Heineken, it's over. It's over. All you do is sleep. You know we got CPD, right? Colored people's disease. As soon as I eat, I'm out. But if you're in the sun, you get nice and black. I'm telling you, it's wonderful. I'd like to do that. Remind me, listeners.
Well, hopefully we will be able to do that for
On the air. Want to do that?
But we
call us here and send us some money.
Can I say thank you to some of the people that's donated so far?
By all means.
Yeah, Kimberly from Bloomfield.
Kimberly,
New Jersey. You know Kimberly?
No, but that name sounds fine. The name sounds good. Kimberly.
You sounded like you knew her. Charlotte from right here in NYC. Leanne, I hope I'm saying that right here from the city. An anonymous person from Brooklyn. So big shout out to Brooklyn, because you know Brooklyn always going to come through.
Brooklyn always comes through for me.
As much as you talk about
I should run for office. I should go out there and run for office. Do you know what I mean? Because prophets have no honor in their own country. I've tried anybody, it didn't work out. So I would love to go to Brooklyn and just be out there.
Well, we have 2 anonymous people from Brooklyn.
What's happening, anonymous ones from Brooklyn? Love you. Thank you for sending us some money. And I would hope that more people from Brooklyn send us some money.
Of course, Brooklyn's going to come through.
Always.
And then you have Vincent from St. Albans. My mother grew up in St. Albans.
She did? She must have been rich. In those days, St. Albans meant you had a lot of money.
Well, she grew up in St. Albans.
Louis Armstrong came from there. James Brown lived out there for a minute. St. Albans, you know something? I went to Springfield Gardens. I'd go to Jamaica. I'd go to Ozone. I would never even try St. Albans because it was too much for me. I didn't know any girls there. They were like, they were way beyond our pay grade. John, what was that school out in Queens? John Adams? Jane, what was that school out in Queens that had the finest girls? Jamaica High. Jamaica High's had some fine sisters over there. Okay, I'm not going to be talking like a male chauvinist. Let me be cool.
Excuse me, isn't that the reason why we
get into problems over
We had it out?
Yes, we did. I ain't speak to you for 2 months.
Excuse me, that's the other way around. I didn't speak to you
All right.
for 2 months.
There is a Vieques Forum. Those of you who know the politics of Puerto Rico know that the Navy had Vieques, an island on the east coast of Puerto Rico, for years. 400 years. They bombed the hell out of it. They used it as target practice. And they used titanium-tipped missiles. Those titanium-tipped missiles polluted the water and polluted the land. Vieques ended up with the higher cancer rate than the rest of the island. Eventually, after much protest by people not only in Puerto Rico but here, Vieques was freed and the Navy let it go. But they refused to clean up the land. They refused to help in the actual detoxification of that little island called Vieques. And those of you who have traveled to Puerto Rico, you can catch the launch, the boat from Fajardo right to Vieques or to Culebra. And so, in order to get more information, I love Vieques. I always have. The sun is incredible. I think there's a tear in the sky there or something in the ozone layer, because you get over there, you get burnt immediately. There's going to be a Vieques forum tomorrow at Union Theological Seminary, my school, 3041 Broadway. That's Broadway and 121st Street. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock. There's a reception at 6. So if you want to know about what's happening on Vieques, please go to the Vieques Forum tomorrow at Union Theological over at 121st Street and Broadway. The donation is $10, but nobody's going to be turned away if you don't have the bread. Okay? For information, if you want to contact someone, call, why do they always have to be called Jesus? Jesus Cruz. Ain't that a trip? Jesus Cruz, 917-557-4791. 917-557-4791. Jesus Cruz.
That's what I used to say when I didn't, wasn't understanding how it was said when I was about 10. Really? I was like, well, why would they call themselves Jesus?
I have no idea. Latinos we have this incredible familiarity with the Trinity. So we got Marias, we got Jesuses, we got Abrahams, we got, you name the Bible word, the Bible name, and we got it. Okay. But all the Jesuses I knew were bad. All the angels I knew were devils. I mean, they were real bad. But I loved it. I loved it.
Can I ask you, do you know Claude? Gone. Not like it's going to happen in 6 months or 2 months. We're talking about 2 weeks. 2 weeks time this can happen, and that's why we're asking people to donate to the WBAI Transmitter Fund. And if you're listening in online, you can go on to give to the number 2 WBAI.org and donate right there as well. It's called the WBAI Transmitter Fund, but we need you to call right now. We need at least 10 people before we get to 7 o'clock, and I know we can do it. I know Felipe has the people listening in right
Absolutely.
now. So that's why I'm saying it's called the WBAI Transmitter Fund. Join those people who I just called off before. We had a few anonymous people. Which is fine.
Which is beautiful.
Which is fine, but the fact of the matter is they stepped up and did their thing. And we're asking you right now, if you've never donated, you know, Felipe, only 10% of the people that listens
donate. Well, you know, those 10% have kept us on the air, and I thank every one of you. And let me tell you what the spiritual principle is. You may be religious, you may be not, you may be spiritual, you may be not. What you give comes back. I have found that to be true. Even paying your bills is a form of giving, but it does come back to you. Giving, forgiving also, is part of this mental thing called health. I've seen people give, even, now don't give if you don't have it. But if you have it,
well, that's the thing.
You can do 100, you can do 250. If you don't have it, just think good thoughts about it.
No, if you can donate $5, then that's fine.
By all
means, 25. 100 can be a lot, and I understand that.
Well, we have this saying.
If we have a bunch of people donating $5 or $20, $25, then it adds up eventually.
Do you know the story about the widow and the 2 mites? Do you know the story about the widow? In the Old Testament, she had nothing. She had two little pennies, and she gave that, and that she ended up getting oil for all the time that there was no oil in Jerusalem at that time. Whatever you can give it. We would like large donations. We would like you, those of you who can afford it, give us $500, $1,000. We can do this, and we can make some money here and keep our transmitter alive. We've got about, this is WBAI in New York, 99.5 on your FM dial. My name is Felipe Luciano. I do this every Friday. I love talking with you, and I hope at some point that this transmitter, I hope, and I know, that you will allow us to stay on the air so that we can continue to talk to you, relate to you, love you, and get love back. Here's Marvin Gaye.
Tears fall from your eyes. Oh, 1,000 times
live on your FM dial. My name is Felipe Luciano. And we're here listening to him. What a tragic loss. But I loved him. I think he was one of the most incredible singers in the history of R&B. Let me think of a poem called African Rose that I'd like to read to you. Tear-stained, rock-souled, dimple-belly night flower. You fight the sun in me to be you and all the things you dream of. Cry, soft sobs, muffled pain, blue love screams and promises. Who left you here to die alone in bed? Waiting for word, waiting for water, hoping some gardener, some real somebody with thick wrists and muscled arms crushes you like he wants you. Like he sees the blossom and dream seed on your petals and demands that you grow in his hothouse. Silk-skinned, full-bodied, purple-painted African rose, your fragrance is the kind you have to get close to notice, but don't you see me standing here? Can't you feel my gentle wind? Won't you even say thanks for me chasing away the dogs and the fleas? Why do I have to be a clap of thunder when twilight drizzle does the trick? Why wait for hurricanes when music and laughter and touch and faith help roots more than fertilizer? The forest needs manure. Why do you? Why do you look for it, pine for it, place yourself in the path of it, and then cry at the sight of your broken leaves, your crumpled stamen, your rotten lily pad? Hey, brown oak. What's up, magnolia? Listen, beech tree, que pasa, coco? I'll be your ocean. I'll build your rainbow. I'll see the sky if you just howl at the moon with me and lap in the dew. I'm yours, you know. No weeds, no fences, no beetles bugging us. Just you, just me, and the wind, and the rain, and the wind, and the rain, and the sun. Written by Felipe Luciano, 1996. Did you enjoy that, Ife?
Yes, I did. I had to turn my mic on first.
That's all right, as long as you enjoyed it. We're talking about a transmitter fund. And folks, I don't know how serious you think this is or how you think that this is a joke, but the reality is that if we don't pay the bill on our transmitter at the Empire State, it's like the projects. You can play around for a minute and then you gotta go. And that's what's happening. So we're asking you to please send us $100, $200, $300, $500, $1,000. I know there's someone out there who has $1,000 who can help us right now, right today. Send that $1,000, and by the way, we'll match it. You send $1,000, we'll match it. There's somebody out there who has $2,500. I have faith, and I believe that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We do this with preachers. And we don't do it with radio stations. And this is a radio station, as you well know, that gives you alternative voice. You're not going to see this again. Once we're off the air, and I pray to God that this doesn't happen, you know what's going to happen? We're going to say, man, we used to have a station. We used to. I remember when Felipe, and then y'all come up to me on the streets and Felipe, I remember you on the air. Too late. It happened with WRVR. It can happen here. Let us understand the seriousness of the matter. I kid and I play. But, you know, mama didn't raise no stupid kid. This is serious business. 516-620-3602. 516-620-3602. We need your money. Send us $500. Send us $1,000. If you can't do that, send us $100. Send us $75. We'll take what you have. We need what I don't want to keep on saying we need. I think you need it. It's symbiotic. We feed off you, you feed off us. Okay? By the way, the poem was called African Rose, for those of you who are interested in the poetry itself. We're here for another hour, and we will announce your names on the air for those who want that. There's some of you who don't, and I appreciate that too. New Jersey always comes through for me. Brooklyn always comes to Manhattan. I don't know what it is about Manhattan. They got money like you wouldn't believe, but they seem seem not to give. I'd like to see people from Shorehaven. I went to Shorehaven, this little condominium community in the Bronx. Ife, you got to see it. All Latino, all black, together. They all live. That's wonderful. So I'd like to have some folks from Shorehaven.
And Long Island, too.
And Long Island, too.
Those folks way out in the east.
Yeah, but let me finish with the Bronx. Why do you want to go to Long Island before we hit the Bronx?
Sorry,
No, don't mess with the Bronx now.
I'm not messing with the Bronx.
All right, we need to give the Steve Avenue crowd and all of the folks in Shorehaven. Sherelle, come on, give us $100. And Darren, come up. Nelly Santiago, you got some money? Send it to us here at 516-620-3602 so that we can stay on the air. There is something else. What I wanted to play a song for you while you're deciding.
Well, you gave me something, but I mean Sheila from, once again you said Jersey. Sheila from Plainfield, New Jersey. She called up, and we just need more people to join Sheila. Join the others that's called. We need folks out in Brooklyn. We need folks out in the Bronx. You just mentioned the Bronx. The Bronx, sometimes the Bronx, they take their time, they think about it, because this happened over the last few days. And then the Bronx, eventually it takes one from the Bronx, and then it's like a flood of people from the Bronx starts coming.
I'm gonna ask my ex out there. Melinda, send us some money. Melinda?
Which, because, you're always talking about...
No, Melinda.
You'll go back to the first grade.
No, I love them all. Listen, they all helped me be who I am today. Most of the guys who are alive today know that if it wasn't for certain women in their lives, they would not be who they are. So, I thank God for y'all. And I've made horrible mistakes, but thank God, and thank women, and thank my mama, my sister, and the mothers of my children, Maya and Nancy, who really put me straight. Sometimes you build a guy and he leaves and you think it was no use. It was to no avail. You'd be surprised the impact you have on men. Ife, now I know because I've been relating, we've been talking, I know there's certain things I can't do because people get very upset. There's some things, if you take women for granted, just say something. People, are you taking me for granted, they say? And I realize now, be careful what you say. Be careful how you put things out. I even have, I love to hug. There's some people you have to be careful how you hug them. Ife, I love hugging. But there's some... Yeah. Some people, and you can hear them go, and I'm saying, oh, this is going to another place. And I don't mean for it. I just like to hug. So I've learned respecting women's bodies, it's taken me a long time because I come from the streets where you protect women, but they're not part of your warrior essence. And they're always in second priority, and I'll be the first to admit it. We were chauvinists.
Where?
I know I'm way beyond that now. I'm way beyond it. No, you can look at me as you want. I'm not there. Anybody who's with me knows that we're equal partners.
Really?
Yeah.
You keep telling yourself that, okay?
But it's true, Ife.
Okay,
it's
keep
true.
telling yourself
it's
that.
True.
No, it's not.
Mamita, Linda, Bella. Listen, the whole thing is that I'm growing and I've grown. Now, am I still alpha male? Yes. And I don't think we should lose that. I have seen this new breed of brother out in the street. I don't know, what do they call it? Metrosexual? Now? I don't know. I love them and stuff, but I just don't see, where's the protection? Where's the affirmation? Where's the assertion? Where's the politics? Where's the ideology? Stand for something, brother. Stand for something. And that's why I love the brothers in the mosque. And that's what attracted me to Islam. I didn't see Pentecostals doing that. I saw some Catholics doing it in South America. I saw some Catholics doing it here. But I didn't see that when I grew up. When you saw Muslims on the street, you can get mad at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad all you want, but he gave black men pride. I mean, you stood up and said, I'm for self, do for self. And he was the first one who said anything black that you eat is good for you. Think about it. Black bread, black rice, anything, eggplants, anything, black berries, black cherries, all of that is good. Now it took the hippies and the health food movement years to catch up to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So whether we love the technology, ideology that he had, some of it was absolutely insane. Yaku in the cave and all that. But you know what? He introduced us to Islam. And many, many people would have never come to Islam had it not been for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Blessings be upon his name. And now that I'm reading about Muhammad, the Prophet, blessings be upon his name, I'm always flipping out at the way religions have a way of changing our concepts. I would hope that we could all get this together and begin to look at each other in a different light. And political too. I'm upset about this comment you made about me being male chauvinist, because I really think that I'm a man, and I think what happens...
You're upset about it, really?
No, I'm thinking about what you're saying, because I'm saying I see this happen all the time. Men of my age, I'm 65, y'all, we assert ourselves in a different way. We're not of this generation. Now, we need to be tolerant, we need to be aware, and we need to be sensitive, but we need to be who we are. And if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here. I want you to remember that. If it wasn't for me, it wasn't for guys like me, a lot of the stuff that you consider natural, just walking down the street, nobody bothering you, in Brooklyn, would not have happened had it not been for brothers who put their lives on the line to protect you.
And you know what? And I get that.
No, not get it. Appreciate it and love it. Don't get it.
No, what I'm saying is that there are certain times that you do go a little overboard. And it becomes, I'm second-class citizen here.
Well, no, you don't.
Oh, yes.
You didn't, did you?
Go there, yes. No, that's right.
There are times when I'm into my essence. And it is a show where I talk about my philosophy, my ideology. I love you being here. I love you helping me. But in the end, the buck stops with me. And if a man doesn't understand that, we're in trouble. It's not equality here, but you have the right. I always love you on the air. I love you talking. But the buck stops with me, and that's the reality. And if we don't make any money, I won't be on the air, and you won't be on the air. So we're asking people to send the money. I'm going to definitely avoid this subject, because this sister wants to go off on me. I'm not going to let it happen.
Why? You see it in my face?
516, yes, I see it in your face. 516-620-3602. 516-620-3602. Send us some money. Help a brother out. Show a brother some love. And send us $500 for the transmitter fund. Okay? Send us some money. And let us show you love. I really would appreciate that. And we can continue to do the things we love to do. Okay? Now, I'm going to play a song that I have. And I'm going to continue playing songs and reading poetry. And hopefully you will send us some more money. Okay? Sisters, I love you. Send us the money. Brothers, I love you, beloved. Send us the money. We need that. And am I going to read it? Yes, I am going to read another poem later on after we do this. What do we have on right now? What are we going to do? We have a Latin song on?
Yes.
Oh, listen. This song, Ife, I love, because this song is a sort of a novelty song by Luis Perico Ortiz. Luis is a great trumpet player. Lives in Puerto Rico now. Was here for a long time. Listen to there are many of you who remember this song from the old radio stations. Symphony Sid used to play it. Dick Ricardo Sugar used to play it. So many of us played it. Camarón.
Camarón no le gusta que el río se lo lleve.
song with Perico Ortiz, great trumpet player from Puerto Rico. This is Felipe Luciano on WBAI 99.5 on your FM dial. And we are asking that you send us some money. Send us some money for our emergency transmitter fund. By the way, is it true, Ife, we got somebody who sent $1,000?
Yes, $1,000.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's beyond wonderful.
That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you, sister. And it was a woman. Mm-hmm. It was a woman, fellas.
Yes, it was.
Who said, I'm going to give that young black Puerto Rican, I'm going to give him some money. I love it. Thank you so much, sis. Can we mention her name? We should do that.
There's a few people. You had Sheila from Plainfield, New Jersey. You had Cheryl.
How are you?
Cheryl from New Rochelle, New York. And then Jackie,
yes,
the one that you're talking from Bloomingdale, New Jersey.
Isn't that wonderful, Jackie? Thank you so much.
And one more. And Dr. Jack Block from Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Ridgewood, New Jersey. Yes. Thank you, Jack. God bless you. Achi, take care of yourself. And listen, we need your money. We do. There's an emergency transmitter fund. And we had you know what happened, right? Hurricane Sandy forced us to leave our downtown studios. We had to move. We're in temporary administrative offices on Wall Street, and we're broadcasting, thank God for WHCR, we're broadcasting from their studios here at CCNY. We've lost some revenue because of the fall fund drive. It was curtailed because of the hurricane. By the way, folks, the water reached up to about 5-6 feet at 120 Wall Street. It was horrendous. I went to downtown to visit one of the employees, one of the people who works for us, Andrea Katz. My sister and I were shocked at how high the water had reached. I don't know how many of you know the South Street Seaport, but I've been going there, bringing my friends and family there for years. I looked at the Abercrombie Fitch, which is where I go to buy my stuff. The store there, right on the corner of Water Street, I think it is, it was like 7 feet high, the water. You could see the watermark. It was horrible. People just, for many, many months, could not get through.
Still can't.
It's still messed up.
A lot of the stores down there are still down.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So, folks, what we need is for you to help us help you. I love being with you. I love talking with you, but I can't do that if we're off the air.
And can I say something, too? Sure. I don't know how many people know that, look, we ended up here at WHCR, and as Felipe said, you know, we're very grateful and thankful. But if we can get past this hurdle, we have something on the table, whereas we can actually get our own spot, have our own place. But we just need to get over this hump. Yeah. I mean, because without a signal, it doesn't even matter if we get a place or not. So, and this can happen in 2 weeks. And if you love the back and forth between Felipe and I, which I hear quite often, you know, y'all are a mess on air. Yeah, you know, well, it is. It is what it is, right? But it's 516-620-3602. It's called the WBAI Transmitter Fund. What you looking for there? You have something good coming up?
I am looking for a poem that I'd like to read to folks, and I'm trying to figure out which one to read. I think I'm going to start with this one. This is a poem that I wrote for the 40th anniversary of the Young Lords. There are still so many deep divisions, Ife, so many deep scars. Some people still can't talk to each other in the Lords, and it's sad. There's no forgiveness, or there's little of it. Some of us have grown up. Some of us have tried to reach out, but there's so much that is still festering underneath. And I say, if you don't forgive, you die. A little bit each day. I believe many of the sicknesses that we have today comes from a lack of forgiveness. You may say, well, Felipe, it comes from bacteria, it comes from this. I think it's a lack of forgiveness. I think even the cancer, the big C, comes from that. Some people have told me that asthma comes from that. Gotta forgive. I've hurt a lot of people. I've been hurt. Men don't like to say that, but I'm going to tell you, I've been hurt. And as much as I tried to bogart and say I'm all this, all that, I've been hurt by people, by men and women. I've been chumped off. I've been betrayed. So what? I'm not going to, you don't sit there and become a victim. You rise up. It's not how many times you fall down. You've heard this before. It's how many times you get up. I tell my children that all the time. It's about getting up. And it's about having faith in you. And in a world, particularly for people of color, in a world that is white, basically, still telling you we got the money and we're not going to share it with you, or you're going to pay more taxes than we do, all of that stuff. I think it's high time we begin to talk to each other with love, forgiveness, and embracing. We're human beings. More and more, I am seeing black men, this is amazing to me, who should be in a position of rage and defiance and anger and resentment say to me, I forgive. I'm amazed at how lovely they are these days. I sit and talk to these guys, and they're human beings. They don't get caught up in nonsense. And I want to say to you, if you're Caucasian, if you're white, if you're Jewish, if you're Irish, there are so many men out there who've just gotten past this. So don't assume that when you see black guys on the street that they're all angry. It's not true. In fact, the guy that you think that is more like you in terms of dress and demeanor may be the one who resents you even more. But the brothers that I see on the street are very cool. They've learned to get over that. They're trying to build themselves. It's like the nationalists used to say in Harlem, they do for self. I'm being pro-black. I'm not being anti-white. And I think that's a wonderful way to look at it. Let's begin to look at it that way. Hi, Emily. My intern, Emily Gilbert, just come over here and give me some sugar. How are you, baby? She's from Brown University. She's done well. She's been accepted into the Mount Sinai Medical School early. She's doing well. She's going to be a doctor. She's going to be a doctor. We're very proud of her. And she's done well. I'm very happy you're here because Ife has been beating me up, girl. If I told you, beating me up.
Emily would believe me, right? Emily knows what. Emily knows you.
Yes, she does. She does.
And I've seen. Excuse me, Emily is quiet, but I've seen her stand up to you. I've seen it.
Emily will tell me in a minute.
Exactly.
It's not going to be done. But Emily has that Asian quality, where it's like she does it in a way she sticks the knife in and you don't even know it's in your back until you fall, until the blood is bleeding out. Let me read you this poem. This is called Remember, and this again was dedicated to the young lords, and it still is. But it's dedicated to all of us who fought and organized and did what we could where we could. So that this generation, both Ife and Emily, could get to where they are today. There is something deep inside me that clicks when I see you. It jolts and rivets me to a spot in the center of my soul that remembers when we were young and open and ready to love and even died for the idea, the belief that we were family. Now, as we stand weathered and wizened, smiling at the sight of the sun, happy to be standing in the company of the giants who came before us, I can call you beloved because there's something that clicks when I see you. The old fights to be right, the painful, vainful dramas of ego don't matter anymore, and they fade like old flowers pressed between the pages of our lives. How is your heart these days? Do you feed it snapshots of fun and things we said we would do and did without fame or money, laughing, rebelling, and holding hands while we leapt from the parapets of safe circles into the clouds of uncertainty, of unholy people, of acts of injustice, of hate and hell? I jumped, I remember, because I loved you and knew deep down that win or lose, this was the good fight. And so here we are again. I felt your presence miles away, and after all these years, something clicks inside me when I see you, beloved. Jolting, riveting. I'm proud that we loved. I am proud that we fought. I'm proud that we lived to see this day. And for every spirit standing here beside us, whose shoulders we stand on, whose courage we hope to transmit to our children and theirs, peace be upon you. Guide us as we seek new paths of nobility and prettiness and things of good report. I see you, the wrinkles, the wisdom, the patience, and I'm telling you, you look like you've lived a full life, earnest, eventful, still pulsating with promise. There's something inside me that clicks when I see you. It jolts and rivets me to a spot in the center of my soul that remembers when we were young and open and ready to love and die and live. We need to do that again. We need to do that again. My poem, Felipe Luciano, written in 2008. Hope you enjoyed it.
Now, when are you going to put together, something? Because I'm being optimistic, about the station, but something so that we can offer as a premium sometime.
It's amazing you say that. Now I know it's confirmed. Emily told me one day, she told me 2 weeks ago, she said, get those poems, put them together and read them on the air and record them so that we can send them to people. And
excuse me, and I said that to you how long ago?
Are we going to get into an ego thing?
No, it's not ego, but it's so when Emily says it, it's okay, but when I say you just ignore me.
Now you're being very colored now. Let's not get crazy.
So you just
just because Emily said, she said it to me she said it 2 weeks ago. You said that to me before then? Had you said that to me before? Because I don't remember that. I really don't.
You see how he's scratching his head, right?
No, I see it.
Right, Emily? Uh-huh.
They're ganging up on me, y'all. So what happens? So I said okay, and then I read something, and I started recording because she had said that. And remember, she's the baby of the group, so she gets the advantage. Okay, you know how we are, how parents are with the younger children. Even though she's not that young.
Oh, that's nice.
She's not that young. I can talk to her. So anyway, long story short.
You're not doing too good.
I'm not doing too good right now.
No.
So now what happens is she told me, so I did it. So you confirmed it, and I think, because I believe in affirmation and then confirmation. So yes, I'll do that. In fact, I have 2 recorded with my boy Gabriel, and I'm going to put out an album this year. Okay? And we can sell the album. No, I'm sorry, pledge the album. Forgive me if I see your face. Folks, the number here is 516-620-3602. 516-620-3602. And it's 7:37 in the city. We need for you to send us money for the emergency transmitter fund. Okay? We're asking for $500. We're asking for $1,000. Now, someone, Jackie, God bless you, sent us $1,000. And I would like to see if we can get another 1,000 before we get off the air. That would be wonderful. Another $1,000, we will match it, and that will allow us just a little more to keep ourselves from going off the air. Because without a transmitter, we cannot transmit. It's as simple as that. And I'd rather do it this way than try to sell you a book, than try to sell you a record, than try to sell you, whatever. I got tired of that. In fact, I was getting more down and down as I was coming. I said, do I have to do this again? But of course, Ife, in her inimitable style, says, do you want to eat? I think you have to. So I said, okay, we'll do it that way. There's something I wanted to...
Well, can we just get a couple more, because people are calling up. It's 516-620-3602. It's called the WBAI Transmitter Fund. And it really is just that serious. If people aren't calling up and donating and showing their love and support for not only just Wake Up Call with Felipe Luciano, but also for just the station as a whole, there will be no station in just a couple of weeks. It can happen in literally just 2 weeks. And we're trying to keep this signal going. Mm-hmm. It's called the WBAI Transmitter Fund. When you call up, if you can donate $100, $500, $1,000, that is great. But if you cannot afford it, there's we're also taking $5, $25, $50, whatever you can afford. It all adds up. It all adds up, but we just need people to get on the line right now. We have 20 minutes before the top of the hour, and we need a lot more people to call up. I mean, we've had plenty of people from Jersey. We've had people, of course, from Brooklyn. We're still waiting on the Bronx.
I'm waiting on the Bronx because I have been waiting. I'm waiting on Manhattan. Has anybody from Manhattan called us and given us $500?
Well, I don't know how much, but I mean, when I say NYC right here in Manhattan, people have called from that's donated from Manhattan. We've had Queens, so right now we're waiting for Connecticut. We're waiting for the Bronx, Staten Island. Where's Staten Island at?
I would love to hear Staten Island. There are people who love this program on Staten Island. You know, you guys get the image that Staten Island is like up north, up south they call it, and it is conservative. They do have a different lifestyle, but I love Staten Island. You know something? When I was on this citizens committee for police and community or something like that, I can't remember what Giuliani called it, I met Molinari. And you know that I got along with him so well. And let me tell you a little story about Borough President Molinari. I had to go to speak to a high school out there, and he has had some health problems. He had cancer. Do you know he got out of his sick bed? He was green and came to the school because I had asked him to do it. I'll never forget that.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful? I have a friend out there in Mariners Harbor called Hector Rivera. We call him Frenchie. Frenchie, how are you? If you're listening, God bless you. Great serviceman, a corpsman with the Marine Corps. And there's several people out there. Martha Lickensteiger, who has a family out there. I began to develop a severe love for an attraction for Staten Island. It's a beautiful. Inez is out there, a little sister who's the daughter of my of the niece of a professor of mine, Sam Cruz. Inez is out there. I think it's a great place. So listen, I don't want to act as if I'm saying these things in order to get the money, but we would like someone from Staten Island to send us $500.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I mean, we do need the money.
Yes,
I mean, either we get the money or we get off, we're off there. You know, you were saying that people kind of tune us out during fund drive, but it's like either you tune us out or tune us off forever. So it can be either it's either now or never. So we need people to just kind of get on the good foot and make that call. 516-620-3602, or they can also go online, Felipe. That's
give to
the number 2 WBAI.org.
Give to number 2 WBAI.org. Listen, I came in here funky. I'm getting slowly revved up. All my children are here. I got Ife, I've got Emily, so I'm okay now. Ensconced in love. A little bit of discipline, but love too. So we're gonna play a Tito Rodriguez for you.
It was
4. Yeah, it was 13. I'd like you to listen to the song. This song is something I grew up with. I'm pretty sure those of you who love Latin music, old school, Palladium style, will love this one. This one I remember when I was a kid too. In the old days, Puerto Ricans would have house parties, and they would put on these big 33 1/3s, these albums, and the ladies would come in their crinoline skirts and their high heels with their short Patty Page bob cuts. I was in love with Patty Page. I was in love with her. And I didn't know Rock Hudson was gay either. So I just thought they were a great couple. And Doris Day was another one I was in love with. Listen, this is when you grew up. This was the Cisco and Pancho and Amos and Andy era, Father Knows Best, and Loretta Young and all of that stuff. But this was a record I remember, and it comes out of Venezuela. And I want to say, condolences to all of those of you Venezuelans. Condolences to all of the progressive community for the loss of a great man, Hugo Chavez. May he rest in peace. Alma Llanera.
Yo nací en esta ribera del Arauca vibrador. Soy hermano de la espuma. Soy hermano de la espuma, de la garza y las rosas.
There is a nostalgic spirit that enters me when I hear Tito Rodriguez. Because it reminds me of the days when Puerto Ricans were so, not that we're not proud now and that we're not moving forward, because we are. We have Sotomayor, we have so many Congress people, Nidia Velázquez, we've got Mr. Serrano, we've got Gutierrez over in Chicago. We've got a bunch of Puerto Ricans who are doing exceptionally well. We've got lawyers and doctors and physicists, and we've got them. And yet we still have a community that's sometimes abysmally poor and dropping out at rates that are unconscionable. So we need to do a lot of work. For those of you who are students or teachers, for those of you who are in much more fortunate, I would hope that you would begin to start liberation schools in the Puerto Rican community. We used to do that when the school strike was on around 69. We started liberation schools. I would hope that we could do the same thing in the Puerto Rican community. We're in bad shape. And by the way, this is not limited to Puerto Ricans. Black people need to jump on this bandwagon, and they need to go into the Puerto Rican community and say, we're going to teach you to read, we're going to teach you to do math. We're going to teach you to play ball, we're going to teach you to do karate. Whites need to do it, Jews, Italians, Albanians, Czechs, Irish. I don't care what we need to help. My community needs help. And I'd be the first to admit vulnerability with this. I'd be the first to say we need it. And I don't care what color, I don't care what class, I don't care what ideology. Missionary work is needed in our community. We're dropping out at rates that are abysmal. We're dropping out. Our families are breaking up. Something needs to be done because the gang situation is getting ridiculous. So I ask those of you who can do it to please find a church, find a community-based organization, and the first thing I'd like you to think about is teaching them to be inspired and not to be threatened by school, because so many of them are threatened by it. Sister, if you can, I don't care if you're a Muslim, I don't care if you have dreadlocks, I don't care if you are a lawyer and doing well downtown. If you can get to some of these young Puerto Rican women and sit them down and say, start loving yourselves. Very often the problem starts at home. Mothers who say, you ain't nothing, you're never going to be nothing, because they're nothing. That happens a lot. Learn to love you, to build them up and stop criticizing them so much. Same thing with guys. If they're there in the home, respect the guys. I believe that marriage should be about love and respect. I don't understand why people marry and they don't love and admire and respect the men they love. If you don't respect him, admire him, and if he's just good in bed, what is the use? I understand smacking thighs and having a ball and all of that stuff, but it's important to love and respect and admire your woman, or the woman, your partner, or your man. All right, don't want to get into the preaching thing. 516-620-3602. And this is for, or you can donate to give to the number 2 WBAI.org for the Emergency Transmitter Fund. Again, thank you for the $1,000. We need another $1,000 donation. We need a 500. How's that? We have, let me see, we're at 7:50. We have 10 minutes before we go off the air. And I would definitely like to hear, to feel, to love on a $500 donor. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
You had one so far.
Really?
You had one yeah, I told you. You had one 500 and one 1,000. But if we can get more, that would be wonderful. I want to say thank you to Joy from East Elmhurst, New York, Douglas from Brooklyn, Lewis from right here in Manhattan, Andrew from Huntington, Long Island, and someone from Randolph, New Jersey. They all donated, so thank you so much. And there's more people coming in, but we need a lot more coming in, Felipe. A lot.
I agree. I agree.
You have Pauline from New Rochelle, New York. She just called up, and she pledged for $250.
Well, that's nice.
So thank you, Pauline. But we need more people. 516-620-3602 is the number to call to keep Wake Up Call on, to keep WBAI on. Just all of the shows on WBAI. That's what it's all about. And so you can hear more of Felipe's poetry and his early morning monologues that he does quite often. But if you love that, then you have to make sure that you keep the station around. The transmitter is in jeopardy of going down in about 2 weeks. It's that serious. So 53 years down the drain in 2 weeks. Now, we've made this whole... we've gone through this whole process of moving. We moved up to Harlem. We're sharing WHCR studios, which we're really thankful and grateful for. But the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if we moved if we have no signal. No signal means no station. So it's just really just that serious. 516-620-3602 is called the WBAI Transmitter Fund. The WBAI Transmitter Fund. But we need people to call now. I mean, in the last 7 minutes.
7 minutes. And I'm going to read this to you and then give you a David Ruffin tune. It's called Bolero. I wanted to read this to you. I picked this out from my living room floor, couch. I'd like to read this to you. I think a lot of you will understand. This is about a real story that I saw in the newspaper, and I wrote a poem about it. It was a nasty relationship. Their fights took place on the streets where they lived, eye-gouging, gutter-sniping, mother-calling fights. And though the sex was great after, he'd lose a day of work to heal, and she wouldn't feed the kids. The cops would come and she'd scream through blackened eyes, "Don't take him, he's mine, and what will I do when he's gone?" But she had to admit there were times when he split that she noticed the beauty of her houseplants. And she loved him. 7 kids worth she loved him, and he adored her. 7 long affairs worth he adored her, and always came back home. Even if his mistresses bought him clothes and cologne, he came back. He remembered. Remembered how his wife snatched their last child from her tit to look for him in Brooklyn. She found him in a quiet Puerto Rican tenement on a quiet Puerto Rican block, and she made it loud. Kicked the door down with her heels, slapped the Italian super, and vowed revenge on the bilingual teacher he was pumping. And then he smelled the gasoline, so he came back. And though she beat him and cursed him all the way home, and people in their subway car marveled at his patience, he thought how wonderful it would be to have peace. Their 8th child was conceived that night in a frenzy of jealous passion, but he left one day for good. He loved her and she loved him. They spoke often on the phone, but she remembered the pain. And on the day she knew she was due, she took the train to his job on Wall Street, her water following her in a trail. She met him in the custodian's basement locker room, kissed him long and hard, sucked on his tongue, and left. He didn't understand her strange smile nor her funny twitch, but said goodbye and shrugged. The thick blood took its time inching down her legs. To the cold marble floor, she hobbled to the elevator. 16th floor, she said, and didn't know why. While passengers thought how strange she doesn't look like a stockbroker. The woman child found the public ladies' room and grunted her 8th miracle into the toilet. But she saw it couldn't swim. It was drowning. And though she hated his father, gingerly she cut the cord and placed the baby in the garbage can for its father to pick up when he made his rounds. Love and romance, oh, how they thrive in New York.
Somewhere there should be
WBAI 99.5 on your FM dial. David Ruffin, Statue of a Fool. Hope you like the poem I read called Bolero. I was reading a story in the Times or something, the Daily News. That sounds like a Post story, doesn't it? And it was just quick. Some lady went to her husband's custodian's locker room, and they looked in the bathroom, and there was the baby swimming in the toilet. It's amazing what can happen when there's anger and there's no love, or there is love, but it's love that has not been satiated, or love that has been frustrated. And I would hope that that would help someone who's thinking of doing something wrong to their child, or wrong to themselves, or wrong to their guy, or wrong to their girl. Time for us to start really thinking about our children. Listen, we're asking you to send us some money here at 516-620-3602. Send us some money. We got about a few more minutes on the air. Please send us.
And you know,
$100, $250.
And you called out, and I just want to say someone did pledge $500.
They did.
500 and someone else 250. So your voice really does matter, and they are listening.
Thank you, Faye. You've come back and you've praised me. I like that. Show the love. It's WBAI 516-620-3602. 516-620-3602. Send us. We need another $500 contribution right now before we leave the air. Please, we need that. We'll match it. You send us $500 and we'll match it. Okay, sis? I know there's somebody out there who can do it. The women have been taking care of business on this program.
Well, that was Claude from Chester. Claude gave it. Again, this is the second time today that he gave, so.
Right on, Claude.
So he came back with 500. Wendy came back. I mean, not came back, but Wendy stepped forward, and April stepped forward. So thank them, but it's now.
I thank all of you.
We have to go on.
Claude, on the money. You take care of yourselves. We'll be back here next Friday, right here at WBAI 99.5 on your FM dial. Beloved, take care.
Yo, this is G-Love on WBAI, New York, New York.
From Pacifica, this is Democracy Now!
How's my princess?
I think there's someone in the truck.
Yeah, there's people back there, but I don't know who they are, and I don't ask.
Hey, American girl.
We need to get some friends to Austin. You'll get $500 for each of them.
Are you interested?
The